is turning heads, man. After liking a post on Instagram, everybody in Cleveland talking about it. The Browns is sitting at a bye week, man, but they are the talk of the town in the NFL. Now, we know last time we seen the Cleveland Browns, it was a massacre, bro. It was an ugly, ugly game they had in New England. You even had Mike Verbal taking shots at Kevin Stefanski. You got Kevin Stefanski saying no matter what, he's not taking Dillon out. You got reports coming out that Jimmy Haslam is demanding, allegedly, Dillon Gabriel be big.
He didn't need a touchdown, a press conference, or even a football. All it took was one tap, one like. That's how Shedeur Sanders just broke the internet again. And this time, the fallout wasn't about his game. It was about something bigger. The power of perception, timing, and the fact that in Cleveland, chaos doesn't take a bye week. The Browns were supposed to be resting, regrouping, pretending to fix another broken season.
I find this very dope and interesting. Shedeur paying attention. Oh man, Shedeur watching everything. Not only is he watching everything, he's letting his presence be known that he is watching everything, because he took to Instagram to like a post, and boy, oh boy, they definitely talking about this online, man. So shout out to ESPN Cleveland. We're gonna react to their show today that they had, because I have not seen any other clips from today's show, and I'm definitely interested in seeing it. But it says Shedeur Sanders recently liked an IG post calling for him to start for the Browns
But instead, the city woke up to a digital earthquake. Shedeur Sanders had just liked a post on Instagram, calling for him to start after the bye. That was it. No caption, no comment, just a single like. But in Cleveland, that was enough to turn peace into panic. Within hours, the fan base was split down the middle. Some said it was confidence, others called it defiance. ESPN Cleveland dedicated entire segments to it. Talk radio went nuclear.
We stop asking these questions. Y'all know this man don't want to play Shedeur.
You know that, people, we know that. And people,
Yeah.
I see people, in the chat, not in the chat, but just in general, when we talk about the Cleveland Browns, they talk about,
Yes.
damn, what's the word? When they don't like someone and they doing them wrong. I forgot the word to use. But listen, we already know what the play was.
Fans were posting screenshots, debating every pixel like it was game film. It was the kind of drama that could only exist in one NFL city. And of course, it had to be Cleveland, because the Browns don't just attract chaos, they breed it. This was supposed to be a quiet week. The team just came off an ugly loss to New England, one so brutal that even die-hard fans started talking about taking a break from football altogether. But rest doesn't exist in Cleveland. Not when you've got a rookie quarterback with the last name Sanders watching it all unfold from the sidelines. And apparently, from his phone too. One like, and the entire sports world froze. Forget touchdowns. Forget interceptions. This was social media warfare. And Shedeur just threw the first punch without saying a single word. ESPN Cleveland broke the story first, calling it a message to the locker room. Analysts started speculating if this meant Shedeur was frustrated.
Let's go back to the question you asked a few minutes ago. With some of those interviews, I would say it wasn't the lack of professionalism or being unprepared. He's never been unprepared. I think it was more so of a young kid getting comfortable and building a relationship with someone and probably trusting them a little too much. And going into a room with his guard down, not understand like, man, this a job interview still, and they trying to pick you apart. Because you got to think the Giants and those teams, man, they've been in Boulder more than anybody. They've been there so much that almost to the point where he feel like, man, oh, we good. They have certain.
If he wanted to start, or if he was just trolling everyone. But if you know anything about Shedeur Sanders, you know it wasn't random. It was intentional, calculated. A quiet flex from a kid raised in the spotlight. Because Shedeur knows the game, he's been built for it since birth. Every move he makes gets amplified. Every post becomes a headline. And this time, he knew exactly what he was doing. That's what makes it genius. It wasn't loud, it wasn't messy, it was silent pressure. A warning shot to the franchise that's made quarterback drama a seasonal tradition. Because the truth is, the Browns have turned dysfunction into an art form.
What they want. It seemed as if that someone forced their hand to take this pick, and they don't want to give him an opportunity to play the game. From the small sample size that we've seen from Dillon Gabriel, he's played 4 games. They're 1-3.
He won't push the ball down the field. It's hard when you can't run the ball and all you do is that you short fish. Because the big fish don't swim close along the shore. They're out in the deep. And so to get points, you got to push the ball down the field at some point.
Yeah, but maybe he's not that comfortable doing just that yet, because we saw him push the ball down.
Every few months, there's a new savior, a new quarterback, a new plan that collapses before it even starts. Fans call it Clevelanding, the natural process of turning every opportunity into a disaster. It's not pessimism, it's history. And now, Shedeur is the newest name caught in that endless cycle of confusion and chaos. Before the bye, the Browns' offense looked allergic to scoring. Dillon Gabriel, the supposed starter, looked like he was running a playbook written in hieroglyphics. Missed reads, stalled drives, and the kind of indecision that makes highlight reels for all the wrong reasons. The fans were restless, the media was brutal, and even the players seemed unsure what direction the team was heading.
Post right here. I don't know where the post is from, but Shedeur liked it. Now, I did see this last night. This is major, and this is very funny because this is telling you, oh, this is Browns by Brad. It's his post. Now, this is telling you that Shedeur is paying attention, and he's sending subliminals. And what's crazy is that Rizzo stated that he heard that Shedeur was starting, but by Shedeur liking this post.
And through all of it, Shedeur sat back, watching, waiting, taking notes. He didn't need to say anything. His phone did the talking for him. When that post popped up suggesting he should be the starter after the bye, Shedeur didn't scroll past it. He liked it. And that one digital moment said everything the city had been too afraid to admit. He's ready. He knows it. The fans know it. And deep down, the Browns know it too. But of course, this is Cleveland. Logic doesn't live here. Instead of leaning into momentum, the team doubled down on confusion. Reports claim the front office wanted to consider giving Shedeur a start.
I'm breaking news when I say that I don't think everybody in the organization is on the same page in terms of what's happening around the quarterbacks, right? Because if they were, then we wouldn't have seen how clunky it was throughout the preseason, all of the inferences that they would keep 4 different quarterbacks on the active roster. Remember, they traded for Kenny Pickett only to trade him away at the end of the preseason. Shedeur Sanders as the backup quarterback a couple of weeks ago, officially after they moved on from Joe Flacco, only to not get any first-team reps.
But the coaching staff refused, clinging to Dillon Gabriel like a life raft in a hurricane. Insiders whispered that ownership saw Shedeur as the future, while the coaches were too scared to disrupt their system. It's a system, by the way, that hasn't worked in decades. Still, Shedeur didn't flinch. He didn't post a follow-up. He didn't fuel the fire. He just let the noise build. The internet dissected that one like it was a presidential statement. Talk shows called it rebellion. Fans called it destiny. Everyone else just called it Cleveland being Cleveland. But the funny part? That silence from Shedeur was louder than any statement he could have made. Because that's the new game in sports. You don't need to talk. You just need to move in silence and let the internet do your work for you. The timing couldn't have been worse for the Browns, or maybe it was perfect for Shedeur. The bye week gave fans 2 full weeks to debate, analyze, and argue about one thing: whether this rookie should finally take over. Polls started popping up everywhere. Twitter, ESPN, Reddit, all asking the same question. Should Shedeur start after the bye? The results weren't even close. Fans were done watching the same story. They wanted new energy, a spark, something to believe in.
So I seen yesterday they stated on the arena show that if Shedeur Sanders do start, they might not announce it until like that Friday before the game. But this is what they said on ESPN Cleveland today. Let's get us a listen, man. Let's see.
There is something going on here that is weird, strange, and dysfunctional. Because the answers to the questions and the logic from the moment they drafted him to right now, there are all these incongruencies.
And Shedeur represented exactly that. Meanwhile, Cleveland's coaching staff looked like they were trapped in a maze of their own creation. Every press conference sounded the same. Vague answers, no accountability, no direction. It was as if they were allergic to clarity. One reporter even asked if Shedeur's like had caused internal discussions, and the coach just smiled nervously. You could see it in his face. Something was brewing behind the scenes. The truth is, this wasn't just about a social media post. It was about a message, a signal, a rookie saying without words, "I see what's happening. and I'm ready. Because while Cleveland keeps recycling quarterbacks like bad headlines, Shedeur's been quietly preparing for his moment. And that's the thing about Shedeur Sanders. He doesn't chase moments, he creates them. This wasn't just a like, it was strategy, control, a silent statement that said more than any interview ever could. The Browns thought they were in charge of the story, but overnight, Shedeur took it from them. He became the headline, the controversy, the entire conversation. Suddenly, it wasn't about the team's play calling or their record, it was about him. And he didn't even have to say a word. Meanwhile, the Browns were doing what they do best, making a simple situation complicated. Rumors started circulating that Shedeur might actually get the start after the bye, but no one could confirm it. Some reports claimed ownership was pushing for the change. Others said the coaching staff wasn't ready to move on from Dillon Gabriel, but deep down, everyone could feel it. The tension, the anticipation, the sense that something big was about to happen. Cleveland fans, the most battle-tested in the league, were already preparing for both triumph and heartbreak. Because with this team, it's always both. The funny part is, Shedeur didn't just give the fans hope, he gave them a distraction. Something to talk about.
I really would. All the reports, like I got NFL Network's Ian Rappaport saying that they want to give Shedeur a full week to play towards his strengths and structure a game plan around something that benefits Shedeur Sanders. That would be your opportunity to start Shedeur against the Jets, who are really bad. And it's a road game, yes, but at the same time, it's the Jets, so who cares? And you could have the bye week plus a week of prep to get him ready for that game. Like, I'd be ready to make
something to believe in again. For once, Cleveland wasn't trending because of another blown lead or a failed draft pick. They were trending because of a rookie with swagger, confidence, and timing that could cut through the noise like a knife. Talk shows kept replaying the same sentence. Shedeur liked the post. That's it. Over and over again. But between the lines, there was something deeper. A reminder that the Sanders name doesn't just exist in football, it defines it. His father, Deion, mastered the art of commanding attention. And now, Shedeur is doing the same, just with a modern twist. No flash, no interviews, just digital dominance. Fans started calling it the Sanders effect, that rare combination of confidence and chaos that makes you impossible to ignore. Even NFL insiders started admitting that Shedeur might be exactly what the Browns need. Not just a quarterback, but an identity. Someone who brings energy, swagger, fire. Because for years, Cleveland's biggest problem hasn't been talent, it's been belief. And now, he's a problem for every media outlet trying to keep up. Even the locker room can feel it. Reports claim some veterans have started showing more interest in the rookie during practice. They've seen the film. They know he's got the arm, the poise, and the confidence to lead. And deep down, they probably know he's the better option. But in Cleveland, politics always finds its way onto the field. You've got a coaching staff afraid of making the wrong decision, ownership desperate for something that sells, and a fan base begging for change. All of it collides into one messy, beautiful storm. That's why this story works.